we have this idea, this preconceived idea of what depression is, and that's not necessarily like the only way that depression looks, right?
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, my co-host in life. Brad and I are going to dig into this validating convo I had in the last episode with Dr. Judith Joseph.
Dr. Judith Joseph.
So good. I clearly decided to start while Brad is still getting ready, and we're not going to worry about that because he has ADD, I have ADHD. We're just going with it, okay? This is how two people making it work. Guys, how are you? I cannot believe this is episode 509. On the day that we're recording this, I'm going to actually post and celebrate the episode 500 that just happened. It came, it went, life was going on. Because life fucking lives, guys. So today is April 10th, and it's Consumer Awareness Week. Consumer Awareness Week takes place from April 10th to 16th this year. Oh, thank you. This day aims to educate buyers.
Ready to get started now, guys. Okay, here we go.
This day aims to educate buyers and consumers about their basic rights. This includes access to information regarding the goods and products they are purchasing. The sellers are enforced by law to reveal the ingredients they are using in their products, and they also have to follow certain guidelines regarding quality and standard of the product being sold. If any of the above stated rules are broken, the seller is answerable to the court of law. Yes, consumers are powerful, and many laws have been passed to protect them from being exploited. Are you aware of all of your rights? If not, celebrate the week and find out all there is to know. So here's the deal, actually, really, really important. Depending on what state you live in, those run the states, you have different consumer buyer laws. Depending on which country you live in, there's these different things. So definitely, if you don't know, you should absolutely do some research and do some Googling. But I also just want to say, we're recording this after several different weeks and days and months of exercising our consumerism power, and it is working. Have you seen how much it's working? I don't shop at Target, but I've been part of the not shopping at Target. There's a couple things we need, and I was not getting it there. My poor assistant was so where are we getting these things? And I'm like, oh, here's an art store you can go get them at, and they're $1 more, and it's going to be fine. So Target's lost $15 billion the last time I checked. $15 billion. $15 billion, you guys. This is great news. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, none of that kind of stuff, but also, we have to tell these people who is in charge here. So
yeah, it's actually really difficult right now, especially in the States, with people taking a wrecking ball to the things that actually hold companies accountable, such as the FTC and their Consumer Protection Bureau. So there are literally laws that are supposed to protect us, and right now there are people in power who are trying to give companies back the power to do anything that they choose, and that is going to eventually affect every single person, not just in the United States, but if you're buying products that were made in the United States and you're overseas, they might not be made with the same kind of qualities that, they need to be.
So here's the thing. Even if you feel like you have no rights or voice, your dollar has power wherever you live in this world. And so where you spend that money does matter. And I get it. We have been in places in the States where I'm okay, so this is the only place we can shop right now. This is the only place to go. So,
yeah.
Please don't starve. Please don't go without. But if you can spend an extra $1 and go to a different store, go support small businesses, go support women-owned businesses, go support people of color businesses. I promise you'll feel so much freaking better. You'll just feel better. It felt good to be oh, we're going to look at this place over here that has exactly what we need. Now we can support them.
Or I'm just buying less stuff because I'm I need to buy that thing. And what would be my normal thing would be to go to Amazon and just order the thing.
On one of the FYFs, I actually told people how they can boycott in a way that helps them. So if you haven't ever listened to FYFs, I'm adding things on the internet that inspire me, plus your wins, plus my wins, and they're still under 15 minutes. And I actually did do it. It's really fun.
Cool.
Okay.
Cut me off. So what I was actually going to finish saying there is that, I'm actually buying less stuff because my natural inclination is to just go to Amazon and then to just order it, right? But now I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not ordering from Amazon, or if I'm not ordering from Target, or if I'm not ordering from Walmart, then where am I going to get this? And now there's more effort to go figure that out, and probably requires a trip to the store, which I don't really have the time in the schedule to just go do that. So the convenience is definitely something that we're trading, but also my pocketbook thanks me, because did I really need to buy that thing? Chances are it's 50-50.
Yeah. Well, in the FYF episode, I actually explained that you could also borrow it if you need to. Like if you really need it, but do need it forever, you could just borrow it, right? So anyways, we have to keep going.
Yes.
So know your rights. Consumers all around the world, do some research. This will actually it'll make the companies that you work with even better because of it.
Yep.
Okay. We just literally wrapped up the Elevate retreat. So that's a retreat at our house for those who graduate the Elevate program. And we also had just wrapped the Reformer Weekend for Elevate Round 5. It was just super, super fun. If you're interested as a teacher in Elevate, you can apply for 2026's program. And then that way you could come to 2027's retreat, because the retreat is for the grads and it's really special. Don't you love it? I love it. I love having the people here. I love having all the different years of grads here. I love being able to see them in person. So it was absolutely fabulous.
I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time. People are amazing. And what's been really fun is to see the incredible sense of community created, even across different groups of grads. So year 1, year 2, year 3, et cetera, where they're intentionally building community and they're part of this really amazing group. So it's been fun to see that from our perspective for sure.
Yeah. And then also last week, we actually opened up the registration for the UK tour, the Mullet Tour.
The Mullet Tour.
So you guys, if you are in Europe or the UK or you want to fly there, we're going to be there this September.
Yeah, we're going to be there in September. And what is a Mullet Tour, Les?
Business in the morning, Pilates in the evening. That's how it goes. Business in the front, party in the back. Oh. Business in the morning, Pilates in the back in the evening. No?
Okay. Well, sort of. You just mixed a whole bunch of things, but it's business in the front.
Yeah.
Pilates in the back.
Right.
Okay.
But it's in the morning, and then the Pilates is in the evening.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go
Well,
with that.
That's what the Mullet Tour is. It's our second event. It's not annual because we skipped a couple years. So I don't know the next time we'll be in the UK. I'll be really honest. We're already booking 2026 stuff, and 2027, we just got booked for something potentially. So this might be it, UK, for a little bit. So
a bunch of years.
Yeah. So get in.
Do it. Make sure you're paying attention.
And also, if you understand how the UK works, the studios are quite small, so space is limited. opc.me/UK is where you can get that information. You can come to workshops, you can come to classes. Obviously, the deal is in there if you get all the good stuff for the mullet, the whole mullet. You need the whole mullet to get the deal. Also, coming up...
You need to show up with a mullet or you can't come. Just kidding.
It doesn't really look good on a lot of people, so don't do it. All right, April, in this month that we're in right now, towards the very end, it is spring training. What is spring training? Well, there's the baseball people's doing spring training, and it's our version. And it's a week of Pilates classes with the OPC teachers and myself, mat classes, reformer classes, chair classes, tower classes. You can get the mat only ticket or you can get the full spring training pass. It's a freaking great deal. If you go to opc.me/events, you'll hear about it as an early bird, which means you'll get a better price than anyone else. And you don't
get
have
yourself
to,
on the wait list.
You don't have to be a teacher. You can be someone who's just been doing Pilates. You can also be someone who's pie curious and you're like, I don't know, maybe this is the time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just going to say we have uniforms. The dog has a uniform, everything.
It's going to be great. In fact, there's a theme to this one. It's all about the push-ups.
Oh, yes.
So this is our first annual spring training. We do want to do this every single year, but that will depend on you.
Mm-hmm.
Got to show up.
We wouldn't do push-ups next year. And also, if you went, push-ups, it means you have to sign up.
That's right.
It means you have to sign up.
Yeah, it's intentional. All right, cool. So that kicks off at the end of April. So go to opc.me/events right now so you can get on the wait list where you're actually going to get that early bird offer. Only the people on the wait list get the early bird offer. If you are a Pilates business owner in any way, meaning you are taking clients and getting paid by anybody, then I want you to come to my free Pilates business webinar. It's called the Growth Accelerator. And it's going to help you whether you have a studio or home studio or you're taking clients in the park. Go to prfit.biz/accelerator. That's profit without the o.biz. YouTube.com/accelerator. And we're going to be talking about the 3 biggest secrets that Lesley and I have learned over the past 2,500 clients we've coached. We're going to share those things with you. And it is awesome, actually. It's really been a great experience so far doing this on a consistent basis. And we want you to join us. Lastly,
we're going to Cambodia this fall.
Yep, October.
Yeah, and people are like, I want the 2026 dates. And I have to say, we have a tentative date, but we are waiting on some news.
We are waiting on a couple of other things to fall into place before we can confirm the 2026 dates. But here's what we can tell you. We're only going once in 2026. This year, 25, we were able to go twice. Next year, because we're traveling to Europe at the beginning part of the year, we can only go to Cambodia one time.
And so we want you to come this time.
Yeah, don't wait like a year and a half from now to do this.
No, things will just be, your life is not going to get less busy.
It's true. It's very true.
When does that ever happen? So you're going to go to crowsnestretreats.com and snag your spot.
Yep,
We're taking a small group.
Crow's Nest Retreats.
Only a few spots. Go grab yours. Okay.
crowsnestretreats.com.
Yes, do that. Okay, we have to talk about Dr. Joseph, but first, we have a few audience questions to answer.
We do. This is interesting. We've had a bunch of questions come in recently about types of equipment and models and brands and all those kinds of things. So I'm just going to quickly zip down them. At John Lanning Q7B on YouTube asks, hey, my wife is looking for a machine currently. What brand model is yours specifically? He was referencing a reformer video. At Finaloa Donnell 3419 on YouTube asks, where can I buy a mat like you're using? And Marin Heinisch 4234 on YouTube also asks, hello, thanks for this great workout. May I ask, where can I get this Pilates mat with handles and a strap? Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, so John, my reformer is a Contrology reformer. I like the 80-inch. It's really amazing. Prefer it to anything longer, unless your wife is over 6'4". That's what I would get. And I like hauling a machine myself as well. I think it sounds really cool. Also, it makes it feel like that's why it's expensive. It's a machine. You gotta buy it. So that's what I use.
You can go to opc.me/reformer, and you can literally get a link to the one that Lesley uses.
It's a little discount on it too.
Yeah.
Then for my mat lovers, I use the Contrology mat. That's the mat with the handles. I prefer the Contrology mat to all the other brands out there. Yes, I've tried most of them all. And the rest are too squishy, way too squishy. And after just teaching the reformer weekend and then having the mat weekend with elevators, every single different teacher who was on my equipment was able to be like, oh, this is what is happening, right? This is why I'm not connecting when I think I'm connected, because most people are on too squishy of apparatus. And so if you're a tight person, the squish kind of fills in the gaps.
The squish.
And if you're a hypermobile person, you kind of fold into the squish. So you want to get the Contrology mat.
You just fold in the squish.
You fold in the squish.
Just fold it in.
Just fold it in.
Just fold it in.
Yeah. So opc.me/mat gets you the discount link for the mat. If those, for whatever reason, don't show a discount at checkout, then just hit me up and with your email, and I will connect you to a person. So that was all the questions, right? I answered them.
Yeah, you got all 3.
Yeah, I'm a Contrology demo center, so I think it's really important that you know I'm freaking biased. However, that being said, my bias does not come from me not having explored all the equipment or having other brands. I have actually just sold them because I prefer the Contrology. I really think that they have a great thing going on there, and their customer service is really helpful if anything goes wrong. So not that does happen, but shippers, things you want to build a relationship. And I really love Balanced Body, and Jay worked with them closely on the Contrology line, and you know how much I love Jay. By the way, the day that we're recording this is his birthday.
What?
It's his birthday today.
Come on, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did. Last year, we actually celebrated his birthday with him.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not remembering last March 25th. Off the top
Happy
of my
birthday,
head.
Jay, and he hates
Happy birthday, Jay.
He hates right now that we're doing any of this. Okay, well, now go get your Contrology stuff. And if you have questions about any of it, you can just DM me. I will happily answer. I love talking about equipment and making sure you get the right stuff for you and what your practice is. And, somebody else was like, hey, I'm thinking of getting a folding reformer instead of a mat and spine corrector. And I was actually able to talk about why. There is a classical reformer that folds. I have not personally experienced it. It is not cheaper than a regular reformer. It just happens to fold up. And when I'm in Chicago this fall, I'll get to kind of explore it with someone who is in my program who has access to a Contrology reformer and that one. So I can give you more comparisons, but it doesn't come cheaper. It just becomes foldable. Anyways.
I just want to give you guys a quick update. The actual link for the mat is opc.me/folding mat folding mat.
Folding mat.
Folding mat.
So just fold in the mat. All right, the wheels have come off this bus. We have to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back and talk about Dr. Judith Joseph.
Stick around. Welcome back. All right, let's talk about Dr. Judith Joseph. Dr. Judith Joseph, MD, MBA, is a board-certified psychiatrist, researcher, and passionate mental health advocate. Recognized in the 2023 Congress Proclamation Award. With that award, she's dedicated to making mental health conversations more accessible through groundbreaking research and social media. In her book, High Functioning, Overcome Hidden Depression, Reclaim Your Joy, Dr. Joseph helps readers identify hidden depression and discover the unique science behind their own happiness. And I'm really excited to dig in because there's a ton to learn in last episode.
I learned so much. I mean, this was like, I got turned on to this guest because of a different guest we had on about Anhedonia. And I was like, okay, this is the first time I've heard this word. I'm very interested. And so then a friend of mine who listens to the pod.
Sorry, what is it?
Anhedonia?
No. Anhedonia. Anhedonia.
Anhedonia.
Yeah.
Anhedonia.
Anhedonia. Anhedonia. Anhedonia.
Guys, I'm a little dyslexic. Anyways. So, but I had been turned on to this person, and I did some research. I went down the rabbit hole of her, and I was like, oh, I really love that we have another person's voice on this, and also like a book that's out on this. And so, first of all, so much in the episode, you must go back and listen to it. Also, you have to grab her book, ladies. I think it's going to be amazing for you to gift to your friend. But she said there are tons of people out there who have the symptoms of a depression, but are still functioning and over-functioning because they're the rock. And I think a lot of people listening, I mean, if you didn't feel so seen and so heard during this episode, there's not time for you to be depressed.
Yeah, who's the rock? Like, the person who keeps the family together, or the person who, you could be the breadwinner, or
you might not even be the breadwinner, but you might bring money to the family, but you're the person who gets them on the bus. You're the person who gets if you take a day off, there's no groceries for dinner. You're the rock. You're the
teacher,
linchpin.
doctor, boss person.
But also,
whatever.
you could be working at a place, and especially now with everything that's going on, you could feel like if you stop, they'll just replace you, and then you have nothing to go back to, and that's going to even be more depressing and more. So you are just over.
You're not allowed to stop. You're not allowed to fall apart.
No.
Way.
So you keep it all together, but you're actually not happy. And the things that used to make you happy don't make you happy anymore.
We have this idea, this preconceived idea of what depression is, and that's not necessarily the only way that depression looks, right? Depression certainly can look like that, but also we might not realize that we're depressed because we think, well, I'm out there kicking ass and taking names every day.
I get up, I've showered, I washed my hair, so I can't be depressed because I got dressed and I'm actually doing great at work.
Yeah, and I think there's something specific that you said about it, that you said, I'm going through the motions, there's no joy in it, and I think she really responded to that. She lit up. She's like, yes, that's exactly it. It's absolutely possible to still be doing all the things, but when there's no joy in any of it, that's can also be depression.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I just want to, I want to say, she said, not only over time does it wear on you, but it can feel like you don't have anywhere to turn to, because if you go to the regular medical world, they're going to be like, here, you look fine right now.
Yeah.
So, and my girlfriend is a social worker, and she was trained that people would be coming and looking for medication. So she's like, Lesley, people probably needed it, but they looked clean. They looked they got them all the things there. And so I think it's just important to know that these different things are out there, and you might be experiencing them, and you might actually have to be advocating for yourself around these things. So I don't know. This blew my mind.
Yeah. And the joy, the element of joy missing, I thought that was intriguing. But the other thing that really blew me away was, it seems quite logical to me that we say, my biology is different than your biology, so the food that I need is different than the food that you need. I know that they custom make nutrition plans for the astronauts. They all have a different custom nutrition plan because their bodies function differently. Here's what I never took that to the next step and realized: happiness doesn't look the same for everybody either, right? So we have this concept of like, well, do this thing to be happy. Well, that might make you happy, but it doesn't necessarily make me happy. And now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds very logical, but I never thought about it. And when Dr. Judith said that, she said, your happiness is not the same as my happiness. There's a lot of people out there trying all these different things, but it's not working for them. That's because they're basing it off of the science of somebody else's happiness. And she mentioned that this was also, I found really interesting. So the definition of anhedonia was that basically you're missing the joy, right? And there's more to it, and I'm forgetting it off the top of my head, but she said it's actually contagious, right? So if you work in a high stress environment, I'm putting that in air quotes, right? I used to work in a place like this where it was stressful for no fucking reason, right? It was stressful. Why? Because the boss, that's how he felt like a good company's run, right? And so he would make arbitrary deadlines that had literally no reason. This has to be done by tomorrow. Why? What's happening tomorrow? We just have to get it done by tomorrow, right? And it was like this manufactured stress, and it created this like this frenzy, this high strung atmosphere, right? And that is contagious. And she said, but guess what? So is joy. Joy is also contagious, right? And I thought this is really interesting because I operated in this high stress environment for like 6 years. And, people would come in and they would say, how do you do this? And I'd say, I don't know. I just do it, right? But it's probably because I was conditioned to do it. Well, interestingly enough, I think we can also flip that and condition ourselves to find joy, to be in joy, And she said, when you start to shift inside, people are going to notice it in you. You have something that they want, and they're going to start gravitating towards you. Yeah, I really appreciated all this. And she said, how do you know what happiness is for you? She said there's a lot of science under it. Well, first off, she has a quiz about anhedonia, right? And I think that's like a great...
I love a quiz.
It's a great jumping off point.
Love a quiz.
We're going to put the quiz in the show notes, the link to the quiz in the show notes.
It's only 17 questions and it takes 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a self-assessment tool for self-reflection.
Yeah.
Right? And it allows you to understand, like, am I finding the joy, in my life? And then from there, she's got tons of resources. She obviously it is the reason that the timing is really great here because her book is just coming out right now. And she has a book called High Functioning, Overcome Your Hidden Depression and Reclaim Your Joy.
You guys, you can pre-order it today.
Yeah.
And if it's available by the time, but here's the thing. If you, I think this is the type of book that needs to be on the New York Times bestseller list because the more people know about this, the more we can change the contagion.
Yeah, so HFD is what it's about, right? High functioning depression. And she says, hey, look, it's not like an official diagnosis. You couldn't go to the doctor and get diagnosed as HFD. But I think that's like yet because her research is effectively what she's trying to understand is, can this be something that can be diagnosed? Because people are experiencing these feelings and they are experiencing depression even though they're high functioning.
Yeah. Also
very interesting research.
I think it'll get added to the DSM at some point because I was in high school and the DSM was like a 3. So we find things out and we add it in. So I
don't know what a DSM is.
Oh, it's like an encyclopedia for mental health stuff. So it's where every doctor goes when it comes to your
diagnosis of statistical manual of mental disorders.
Yes. So when I was in high school, I remember it being like a 3. Maybe it was a 4 already, but I remember it being a 3. I remember my teacher specifically saying, "Do you see how there's a 3? It means there was a 2 and a 1."
Yeah, this
and
is
that
the
means
fifth edition. DSM-5 is the 5th edition.
As we learn more, we add more. And I think it's really, not that we should label everything, but I do think when you have a label for what you're going through, you feel less alone and you have an understanding of how to operate to get back to where you want to be. I just think that's how it works.
Yeah, and I do want to say, obviously Lesley and I are not psychiatrists, but Dr. Judith is. So, that's a really great place to get started.
If this is your first episode and you were thinking you were listening to 2 psychiatrists, I'm so sorry to disappoint you. We are 2 people who talk to a lot of smart people.
All right, well, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into those beit action items that you covered with Dr. Judith Joseph, and they're pretty fire, y'all. We're going to dig into the 5 V's. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's get into these beit action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Dr. Judith Joseph? I'm going to go first here. She talked about practicing the 5 V's to reconnect yourself. And this, I had to go back and listen to this like 2 or 3 times because she also talked about like a overlapping Venn diagram, and then like the conversation just went a different direction and we never finished that thought. And I was like, where is it? But we did cover the 5 V's. So the 5 V's, and she writes about them in depth in her new book, are validation, venting, values, vitals, and vision. She said they can really help you understand the science of your happiness and increasing those little points of joy every day. And what she means by that is when you're doing research, you often create points, right? You like if this happens, get this many points. If that happens, get this many points. If this happens, you lose points, whatever. They're points. It's a point-based system. And she said, so her tools help you evaluate your happiness in a scientific way, So, and she uses these 5 V's to reconnect with herself. So when I was saying I would start with her quiz, I'm sure part of the quiz is going to be going through these 5 V's, or at least that's in her book, and that'll help you start to figure out, like, where are you on this? Do you have HFD, right? The high functioning depression. She says start with 1 or 2. Don't start with all 5.
Babes, you do not get to start with all 5. You just start with 1 or 2. That's what the doctor said.
Okay, so pick 1 or 2, tap into it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Validation and venting are great places to start. So check in daily and track your joy. So check in daily and track your validation and venting. And then she has the Anhedonia scale to measure whether or not you are getting points of joy in life. So that Anhedonia scale, we're going to link to that in the show notes as well, so that you have a quick link to go find this information. But this is great. I mean, especially for those of you who are a one-woo person like me, having a systematic approach to measuring something as amorphous as happiness is very helpful. It helps clarify things. So what about you?
Well, I was just thinking about how the longer life is going the way it's going, where we are, I might become a 2-woo. I might just go all in on the second woo. That doesn't mean I'm not for Dr. Judith. I'm just saying it right now. If you hear me say I'm a 2-woo girl, you know why.
Heard it here first, people.
Heard it here first. So the other part of her beit action items that I really love was she was talking about Deepak Chopra and meditation and like how we can get caught up in like, I'm a Pilates instructor, I'm a mom, I am this. And like when you even say your name can represent a lot of different things that you're known for or what people think you are known for or whatever it is. And so she suggested you do what he said, which is like lose your name and just say, I am. I am. And you can repeat, I am. And what it does is it really helps you become present in just being a human in your experience that day. And that is like just being, right? Like we forget to just kind of be in our bodies, which is really, really cool. And you get to have that self-reflection. And I think it's easy to forget who we are or think of ourselves as like having all these different compartments and then forgetting like, why are we doing all the things we're doing? What is all this for? And I really like when I lead a breathwork session, I'll ask the people, like an agency, I'll ask them like, okay, like if you need more energy from others, put your palms up. And if you need more energy, if you want to actually keep the energy you have, you don't want any more from anyone else, put your palms down. And I actually like sit there and I ask I notice I ask myself the same question, like, do I need more from others? Do I need this? So like being able to be present is really helpful and understanding like what we need and who we are and where the joy is coming from. So you guys, I was blown away. I'm blown away by Dr. Judith Joseph, and I am so grateful that she was on the pod. We get to say we knew her when this book goes on the bestseller list and the HFD becomes something that we all can actually find easily if we need it. And so go check her out, go get her book. And I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being part of 509 episodes.
What? Holy mackerel.
When I say we can't do it without you, it is actually not just written down. It's like truly, if you don't listen, we can't make these. It's not cheap. It's free for you, not for us. So we truly are so grateful that you share these episodes, that you tell us what your favorite ones are, that you tell us what your feedback is. Like, it really means a lot to us. So please share this with a friend who needs it. Share this with a friend who you might think has HFD so that they can go listen and take the quiz themselves. Because remember, joy is contagious.
Joy is contagious.
Until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.